Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI and Chill. We always bring you the most interesting deep dives, and today is no exception.
Oh, yeah. Today's gonna be good.
We're going to be looking at this article called Why Everyone Will Have a Side Hustle by 2030. And wow, is it fascinating.
It really gets you thinking about the future, doesn't it?
It does. Like, imagine ditching the 9 to 5, working from a beach in Bali. That's the kind of future this article is predicting.
Definitely a future I can get behind.
Me too.
Huh.
Okay, so the first thing the article talks about is this whole explosion of the gig economy.
Right.
Like, we're already seeing it, right? With platforms like Fiverr and Upwork and all those. But the article says those are going to be, like, essential by 2030.
Yeah, like LinkedIn level essentially.
Exactly. What do you think is driving this whole shift?
Well, it's technology, isn't it? It's changing everything about how we think about work.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be relying on just one employer anymore.
No.
One income stream. Forget about it. It's all about diversifying your income streams and freelancing and being your own boss.
That's so appealing, isn't it?
Mm.
Being your own boss, picking your own projects.
Absolutely.
Have you ever thought about freelancing?
I have. I've dabbled a bit in the past.
Yeah.
And it's definitely got its appeal for sure.
I bet.
But it's not just about individual preferences or anything. It's like there are bigger forces at play here too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Things driving this shift.
Like what kind of forces are we talking about?
Well, I mean, look at the cost of living.
Oh, yeah.
It's just going up and up, especially for younger generations.
For sure.
A side hustle can be the difference between just surviving and actually like thriving. Debt, maybe even reaching financial independence.
It's not just about scraping by, right?
Yeah,
It's about having the freedom to actually pursue your dreams.
exactly.
Travel, start a family, whatever you're passionate about.
And that's where this whole idea of the passion economy comes in.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
It's really cool. People are turning their hobbies, the things they love, into actual businesses.
Wow.
It's amazing. Platforms like Etsy, Patreon, Twitch, you name it.
It's like the perfect scenario,
Yeah.
right? Do what you love and get paid for it.
Exactly. Find a job you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Right.
That's the dream. And this article is saying this is just going to get bigger and bigger.
Right.
By 2030, everyone's going to have a niche.
A niche.
Yeah. Some skill or talent that they can monetize with a side hustle.
That's a bold prediction.
It is.
But when I think about it, I kind of believe it.
Right?
I mean, there's so much talent out there, so much creativity
Yeah.
just waiting to be tapped into.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
And technology is making it easier than ever to turn those passions into profit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like we're already seeing AI tools that can help you with anything, marketing, customer service, even like product development.
I know, it's mind-blowing. It's like you don't even have to be a tech whiz to get started.
Right.
It's amazing.
It's like having a team of virtual assistants working for you behind the scenes.
I love that.
And the article highlights another really key factor that's going to boost this whole side hustle thing.
Okay, what's that?
Automation.
Yeah, automation. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room.
Right.
A lot of people are worried about AI and automation, taking their jobs.
For sure.
But this article actually takes a more positive spin on it,
Oh, yeah.
which I appreciate.
It's not about replacing humans.
Okay.
It's about creating new opportunities for side hustlers.
So instead of thinking about robots taking over,
Sure.
it's more like robots are going to free us up.
Exactly. They'll handle the boring, repetitive stuff.
Okay.
The things that we don't really want to be doing anyway.
Gotcha.
And that'll free us up to do more creative, strategic, fulfilling work.
I like that. So instead of being replaced, we're being elevated. I like that way of thinking about it.
And the article even gives some cool examples of how this could work.
Okay, like what?
Like, you could use AI to create digital art or music.
Wow.
You could develop personalized learning experiences.
Really?
You could even automate your whole marketing and sales process.
It's crazy to think about all the possibilities.
It is.
It really is.
That's like AI is giving us superpowers.
Totally. Amplifying our creativity and our productivity.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the gig economy, we've talked about automation, but there's another crucial element here that the article brings up.
Yep.
Personal branding.
Right.
By 2030, it says everyone's going to have a niche.
Mm-hmm.
And cultivating your online presence is going to be like the key to success.
It's like you are your brand.
Yes, exactly. It could be cooking tutorials, it could be gaming streams, whatever your skill or passion is. You got to get yourself out there.
Absolutely, and the sooner the better.
Right.
Start building that foundation now so you're ready to go when you launch your side hustle.
Speaking of launching a side hustle, before we jump into the next part of this deep dive, a quick reminder to like this episode and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content just like this.
We're just getting started. You won't want to miss what's coming next. We're going to be talking about the practical steps you can take to get ready for this side hustle boom. And you know how to actually turn those passions into profit.
Yeah.
So, we've been talking about all these amazing opportunities, but let's be real for a second.
Okay.
It's not always going to be easy, right?
Right.
There are going to be challenges too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you think are some of the biggest hurdles people are going to face?
Well, I think for a lot of people, it's going to be time.
Time.
Yeah, finding the time.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
We're all so busy these days, right? Work, family, social life, and then trying to squeeze in a side hustle on top of all that.
Yeah. Where do you even find the time?
Exactly. And it's not just about finding the time. It's also about managing your energy.
Oh, that's a good point.
Starting a side hustle, it can be really demanding, especially at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're basically taking on a second job.
It's like working 2 jobs.
Yeah. And if you're not careful, you can burn out pretty quickly.
Oh, for sure. Burnout is a real risk.
It is.
And speaking of challenges, let's talk about money.
Okay.
Starting a side hustle often takes some upfront investment, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's equipment or marketing or training.
Mm-hmm.
That can be a barrier for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're already struggling financially.
Right.
It's important to be realistic about the costs involved.
For sure.
Some side hustles, you can start with very little money, but others might need a bit more to get going.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's not just the initial cost, you've got ongoing expenses, too.
Right, like what?
Like marketing software subscriptions, maybe even hiring help.
So you really need to have a solid financial plan in place.
Absolutely.
Before you even get started.
Yep.
And I imagine the income can be kind of unpredictable too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, especially in the beginning.
When you're first starting out.
It's not like a regular job with a steady paycheck.
Right.
You might have some really good months and then some not so good months.
Yeah, it can fluctuate a lot, I bet.
It can.
So it makes it hard to budget and plan for the future.
Exactly, especially if you're relying on that income to cover your bills.
Oh, for sure. So it's important to have some kind of backup plan.
Definitely a financial cushion or something.
Right.
Just in case things don't go as planned.
Makes sense. But beyond the money stuff, there's also all the logistical stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The administrative side of running a business, taxes, legal stuff, all that fun stuff.
That can be really overwhelming for people.
Oh, I bet. Especially if you don't have a business background.
Right.
It's a lot to figure out.
It is, but luckily there are a lot of resources out there to help.
Well, that's good to know. Like what kind of resources?
Well, there are online courses. You can take mentorship programs. There's even software that can automate some of those tasks.
So even if you're feeling kind of lost,
Yeah.
there's help out there.
Absolutely. There's always help available.
Okay, so we've talked about the practical challenges.
Right.
But what about the emotional side of things?
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
Starting a side hustle,
Hmm.
it can be a roller coaster ride.
It really can.
Full of highs and lows,
Yeah.
successes and setbacks.
Lots of ups and downs.
Exactly. How do you think people can prepare for that emotional journey?
Well, it's as much an emotional journey as it is a practical one.
Right.
You're putting yourself out there, you're taking risks. You might even fail.
Yeah.
And that can be really tough, especially if you're used to the stability of a traditional job.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I imagine there's a lot of self-doubt too.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially when things aren't going well or you're facing rejection.
Mm-hmm. It's normal to doubt yourself,
Right.
but you can't let it paralyze you.
So what can you do?
Well, surrounding yourself with supportive people is key.
Okay, supportive people.
Yeah, like other side hustlers, mentors, friends, family, anyone who believes in you.
That's so important, having that support system.
It really is.
It can make all the difference.
Absolutely.
But let's not forget about the positive emotions too.
Oh, yeah.
The feeling of accomplishment when you build something from scratch and you see your vision come to life.
That's the best feeling.
It is. It's amazing.
It's like when you're working on something you're truly passionate about.
Yeah.
It doesn't even feel like work.
Right. It's more than just a job.
Exactly.
It's like you're making a difference.
You're creating something meaningful.
And that's something that a lot of people are looking for these days.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
More meaning and more fulfillment in their lives.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget about the personal growth aspect.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
You're constantly learning new things, challenging yourself, stepping outside your comfort zone.
It's like a personal development crash course.
Right. You're constantly leveling up.
Exactly.
And that can be really empowering,
It is.
especially if you're feeling stuck in your current job.
It's about taking control, creating your own future.
I love that. Before we move on to the next part, just a quick reminder to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this deep dive.
We've got a lot more coming your way, so stay tuned.
All right, so we've talked about the good, the bad, the emotional roller coaster. What's next? What's the future of this side hustle thing?
Well, the article dives into some interesting trends, and one that really caught my eye was the rise of the micro hustle.
Micro hustle, what is that?
So basically, you don't need to build this massive, complex business to be successful.
Okay.
You can use your skills, your passions to create something smaller, more niche.
So instead of trying to be everything to everyone, you focus on a smaller group.
Exactly. And that can actually be a huge advantage.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, think about it. In the digital age, it's so easy to connect with niche communities online.
That's true.
You could offer personalized coaching or create exclusive content for a paid membership, or even sell handcrafted goods to a specific, subculture.
So it's like the riches are in the niches.
Exactly. Carve out your own space, become the go-to expert for a specific group.
And with all the online platforms and tools these days, it's easier than ever to create and sell those niche offerings.
Yeah, you don't need to be a tech whiz to build a thriving micro hustle.
I love that. Everyone has a chance.
And another trend I think is going to be huge is community and collaboration.
Collaboration.
Yeah, in the past, side hustles were kind of like solo missions.
Right.
But now people are realizing that teaming up can be so much more effective.
Oh, interesting. So like partnerships and joint ventures.
Exactly. Working with people who have complementary skills, reaching a wider audience.
That's like two heads are better than one, right?
Exactly. And especially online, building those relationships is key.
It's not just what you know, it's who you know.
Right. And collaboration can also help with some of those challenges we talked about earlier, time management, feeling overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Sharing the workload.
Mm-hmm. And it can spark creativity and innovation, too.
So it's like building a whole tribe of like-minded people.
Exactly. All working towards a common goal.
Now we can't forget about AI and automation. Those are going to keep changing the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
What do you think the next 5 to 10 years will look like?
What's your prediction?
Well, I think we'll see more personalized and automated experiences.
Personalize how?
AI can analyze customer data, predict preferences, deliver hyper-targeted content.
It's like having a virtual assistant that knows your audience better than you do.
Exactly. And AI can automate all those tedious tasks, too.
Oh, yeah. The scheduling, the social media, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Free up so much time and energy.
So you can focus on the big picture.
And as AI gets even smarter, I think we'll see totally new side hustle opportunities pop up.
Like what? Give me an example.
Like AI-powered coaching platforms, virtual event planning, personalized wellness programs, who knows?
Wow, the possibilities are endless.
And anyone can be part of it. You don't need a ton of money or a fancy degree.
Just passion, a willingness to learn, and the courage to take that first step.
Exactly.
This has been such an inspiring conversation. It feels like we're on the edge of a whole new era.
We are. It's exciting.
Before we wrap up, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this one.
We've got so much more to explore, so stay tuned.
For all of you out there thinking about starting a side hustle, remember the future is yours to create. Start small.